Hello, g'day, this is Jamel. Now, I'm doing this on where I think the location of Atlantis is, based on knowledge I really got from this guy, David Flynn, and I recommend getting this book if you're interested in humans' ancient history, a perspective that you're not going to really get from the church. I'm talking about a big mainstream church, which I found extremely fascinating. And another guy, that's David Flynn, that's one guy. Another guy is Randall Carlson, that I've just recently been listening to, and that's my podcast page here. I've got the links to these guys' sites. If you go podcast on my website, I've got links to Randall Carlson and David Flynn. There you go. Really a different perspective than what your mainline history is going to really tell you. These are just other links that my podcast and I put up on my site here. Because your Darwinist sort of theory is that we all come from a swamp and gradually things happen, but I tend to agree, I do agree with Randall Carlson here, also Steve Quayle and David Flynn, how the earth has been destroyed and rebuilt, and there are cycles of time. Now, these guys are the pros, so I'm not going to try and do what they've already done, because they can explain it better. So I advise you to go to their sites. Now, Plato said the Atlantis was located to the west of the Pillars of the Atlas. Well, if you look at the Atlas Mountains, that's north-west Africa. So I basically use that information also. If you look at Temple at the Center of Time, if you Google that, you also will see how locations from the Temple Mount are very specific in time and places in history, using the Temple Mount in Jerusalem as a centre of time and space. I've done another little YouTube clip on this, so refer to that, but I'd recommend David Flynn. His links are on my site if you go to watch a website. So I've just put the anchor there at the Temple Mount, and then I have gone to where looks like ruins under the Atlantic Ocean, and I've used the distance as well. So I'm still going out here, which is to the west. There's your Atlas Mountains there, and if you hone in on this line, I'm using Nautical Miles. Once again, refer to Temple at the Center of Time, why this measurement, and the anchor is Jerusalem, the Temple Mount. Now, if you look at the screen there, I don't know how this is going to be compressed, but if you go to this location, 3109 12.37 north, 23 39 13.71 west, you will find what looks like a grid. Now, you would get that in a city or something like that. Now, this, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out with the resolution, but if you go to it yourself on Google Earth, it really does look like something was built there. Now, this is at the bottom of the ocean, and this is where Plato said it would be. It's where David Flynn suggested it would be. David Flynn has passed away. And the most provocative thing of all is the distance, which, once again, I use a Temple Mount here as the anchor, rule the line in nautical miles, and the distance in nautical miles is exactly 3,033.3 nautical miles. To understand this in more detail, look at Temple at the Center of Time. I guarantee you get this book. I mean, if you're interested in this sort of stuff. If you're not, well, but this is something that I've just discovered myself using the measurement and looking at Google Earth and looking at something that looked like to be a city underwater. And the smoking gun is the 3,033.3 nautical miles from the Temple Mount. So, this is Jamel Bookaboo doing this clip. I've got a podcast. I've got now. Oh yeah, also Daniel, the book of Daniel, said at the time of the end, things will be made known. Now, there's no without the measuring tool and every every eye could see and all that sort of stuff. That in modern history, there's no other time you could do that. So you can check it out for yourself. But these are the different verses. Daniel, roll up your words until the time of the end. Many will go here, increase knowledge. All these sorts of things we would not know. We would not know without Google Earth and the time and the age that we're living in. I'll scroll down to the King James, and it goes, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run into and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So there you go, Daniel 12:4. So there are quite a few things there that point towards the location of Atlantis there. Anyway, I'm JamelBookaboo.com, and you can get my music page. I'm an actor in TV and film. My podcast with my links to everybody there, like Randall Carlson, David Flynn, Steve Quayle, and the other news sources like Conspiracy Oz and Real News Australia I'm on, and my health tab. Check that out.